Hi friends and welcome to another video of Just Being Earnest. So in today's video, I will share with you what is the cheapest roaming data plan out there that you can use it in Malaysia. So I believe many of you, probably even majority of you have even went to Malaysia, whether is it for shopping, for pumping petrol to your car, you will definitely need to go to JB, which is Malaysia. So when you go to JB Malaysia, obviously in your phone plan itself, you want to make sure that you have some data for roaming so that you can still continue to do your daily activities on your phone itself. So here we can see that one of the latest news that we see about Singaporeans visiting Malaysia. You can see that in this news from Mothership, over 16 million foreign visitors has visited Johor in 2023 and majority are Singaporeans. And here we can see that the number of travelers visiting Johor at the two checkpoints has exceeded pre-pandemic levels. And then another news is that for these coming weeks ahead, then Johor is expecting a surge of Hari Raya shoppers coming from Singapore. And another news is that we can see that the massive crowd of JB Custom because Singaporeans who visit Johor either for shopping, for grocery, or for pumping petrol, or for playing activities around there. So we can see that obviously there is many Singaporeans who like to visit JB to do their activities. And we also want to be assured that when we go to JB, we still have data to use on our phone because let's say when you go to JB, you probably need data to use the GPS. You also need data to go to social media. You also need data to call someone. You also need data to use email. So that's why it's important to have roaming in Malaysia for part of your phone plan itself. These are the conditions for the comparison of the different roaming for Malaysia among the different phone plans that we have in Singapore. So we only look at SIM-only plans where you get a SIM plan which has no contract and there's no phone given. And then this MY roaming is part of your base plan, whereby you are given data to roam in Malaysia. And we do not look at the cost that is involved for buying a top-up of roaming in Malaysia. And obviously, why we are doing this comparison is since so many people visit Malaysia and they are Singaporeans, then it will be good to know that which are the phone plans out there that give you the best dollar for your data of roaming in Malaysia. This is the calculation method that we're using. We'll be looking at the total gig or data given for roaming in Malaysia in your base plan, and then we look at how much is your base plan cost. So in order to calculate this cost itself, then the formula is that you look at the total cost of your base plan divided by the total data for roaming in Malaysia in your base plan. For example, if your base plan is $10 and you are given 5 gig roaming in Malaysia, the calculation is that you take $10 divide by 5 and that will give you $2 per gig for roaming in Malaysia. Obviously, you want the amount that you pay for your gig to be as low as possible so that it's more value for money. These are the list of telcos that we will be doing the comparison. Obviously, the first one is Singtel, second is StarHub, third is M1, fourth is Gomo, fifth is Circus Life, sixth is Giga, seven is Simba, eight is 8, and then 9 is My Republic. These are the telcos that will be doing the comparison to find out based on the roaming for Malaysia in their base plan, how much data is given and how much are you paying for the base plan, and then we calculate out what is the cheapest dollar per gig given for Malaysia roaming. Coming at third place, which is giving you at $0.0351 per gig of roaming for Malaysia. Third place we have 8. In the second place, that's giving you at $0.0341 per gig for roaming in Malaysia. In second place, we have M1 Max. Most important one that most people will definitely look forward to, which is the first place, which is giving you at $0.0333 per gig for roaming in Malaysia. In first place, we have Simba, which I think probably some or most of you may have guessed it because Simba is actually quite aggressive in giving the data for the phone plans. This is the ranking table that we have. In third place, we have 8. Second place, we have M1 Max. And first place, we have Simba. So this is the table that you can see how I do the calculation. So Simba is obviously in first place because they have a base plan which is $20 and they give you 600 gig for roaming in Malaysia. So if you do the calculation wise, then that will give you $0.0333 per gig for roaming in Malaysia. Then second is M1 Max, which you can buy a base plan at $9.90, and then they'll give you 290 gigs. So when you take $9.90 divided by 290, that will give you $0.0341 per gig for roaming Malaysia. This is the full list of the data involved. As you can see, the most expensive one that we have here is actually StarHub, where you pay a base plan of $15 and they only give you 1 gig for roaming in Malaysia. So that equates to paying $15 for 1 gig for roaming in Malaysia, which obviously is very expensive. That's all for today's video. Hope you learned something new, and do remember to make smarter financial decisions every day. Have a great day ahead, and bye bye.